5 costly mistakes home buyers make and how to avoid them. The home buying process can be so tedious, especially if it is your first time purchasing a house. It can be nerve-wracking, but here are ways to avoid the 5 most common made mistakes when you are purchasing a home. The very first one being not getting pre-approved before house hunting. You don't know how many times I've had people come to me who've been searching for a home for months, if not weeks at a time, and they don't have a pre-approval letter or don't even know what a pre-approval is. So the reason why getting a pre-approval letter before you start house hunting is so important is because this lets you know what your true budget is. Otherwise, you're out just fishing in a sea and you're not even sure if there's any fish inside of that particular lake, pond, sea, ocean, whatever the case may be. You're just throwing your line out there and hoping to get a bite. Well, you need to have a pre-approval because you need to know what your financial situation looks like, what you can afford, and you need to know that once you find the home that you actually like or love and want to actually purchase, that you have the financial backing to do so. Number 2, underestimating the cost of closing costs. Now, as a buyer, you can get lucky and a seller can pay some or all of your closing costs, but they're not required to. So you need to be prepared to take care of your business when the time comes, whether you end up actually needing it or not. You gotta have that cushion pushed off to the back, ready to bag you up. When it comes time for closing, you need to make sure that you're able to handle your business and do everything that you need to do on that end. There are costs associated with purchasing a home. You have a down payment. You have realtor commission fees. You have title and attorney fees. All of these things you need to be ready to take care of when you decide that you want to purchase a home. Number 3, this is a big one, okay? Number 3, skipping the home inspection. You should never in your life skip a home inspection. A home inspection can run you about $400, $500, but I promise that's the best $400, $500 you can spend going into a home buying process, because it's going to let you know what's going on with that home underneath the floorboards, up on the rooftop, behind the wall, things that you can't see with your own 2 eyes or that you generally won't see. That home inspection is going to reveal it. And you rather find out that there is a problem with the house, that maybe you want to just drop the deal completely, or you want to have the sellers fix these problems before you take ownership of the home, because there's nothing worse than finding out after the fact that there's a bigger problem. You rather pay that $400, $500 than to discover a $10,000 problem down the line after you purchased the home and the home is now yours. Number 4, making emotional decisions. The home buying process can be a very emotional process, but you have to be able to keep your logic intact and separate logic from the emotions. Meaning, there will be situations that come up. There may be some things that happen, but you need to be able to get through it and power through and see the bigger picture. Let's say, for instance, you get a home inspection back and it has 3 or 4 things on it that needs to be repaired or fixed. Now, these things are minor things, cosmetic things that can be fixed in less than a couple of days or so. We can get the sellers to take care of these problems, but you see those problems and say, well, you know, they got this, and this going on with the house. I don't want it. Let's just start over. Let's find another home. And then you completely throw that home away over 4 things that are minor and can be fixed relatively easily and quickly. This is when we need to take emotions, put them to the side over here, and then logic has to step in, because here's the true nature of the matter. If we throw this house away and we go back to the drawing board, we start back at square one, you find another home. For one, you're going to have to pay for another home inspection. That's one. For 2, there's going to be some things that probably come back on that inspection as well that's going to need to be fixed. The important thing, or the illogical thing to do, would be, if these things are minor and you can deal with it, we let the seller know, hey, X, Y, and Z needs to be fixed before we go to closing, and before I take ownership of this home, I would like to see these problems remedied. We give them a chance to remedy those issues and problem solve, versus going the long route around hoping that we find a house that comes back with an inspection with absolutely nothing on it. Chances, very, very slim. But for the most part, if these things are cosmetic and they are minor and they do not impose an immediate health or safety risk to you, we can have these problems fixed before we ever go to closing. And bada bing, bada boom, it's done. Number 5, not working with the right real estate agent. Everybody is not everybody's cup of tea, okay? You're not going to like every realtor out there. And honestly, every realtor out there may not like you as well. I'm kidding. No, but seriously, it's important to work with a person that works with your same flow, your same style, and that matches your personality. So for instance, myself, I'm a very bubbly, high energy person. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to let you know what's going on. I'm going to tell a couple of jokes here and there. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have some fun. Now, if that's not your style and you need somebody that's more low energy, that's going to keep it quiet, that's going to be just straight business all the time and never crack a joke or smile, then I may not be the right realtor for you. So that's why it's important to work with somebody who has your same style. Now, if you like to have a good time and then you also like to get business done at the same time, then hey, I'm your girl, okay? We're going to have us a party. We're going to have us a grand time. But again, your realtor can make or break your process. If you have someone that's not responsive to your text messages, that doesn't prefer to hop on the phone or do a call to explain things to you, or it doesn't have the patience to work with first-time home buyers or people who don't really understand the process, you need to know that before you start working with them, because you need someone who can guide you the way that you need to be guided. So finding the correct real estate agent for you is so very important, because again, the home buying process is already stressful enough. You need somebody who can make that process feel like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulder versus making you feel like you're chasing the process even more. So that is something very important, and you want to know who you're working with before you start working with them. Fill them out. Ask them some questions. Have a little mini interview with them. I mean, hey, it's the only way you're going to get to know a person, really. These are the 5 costly mistakes home buyers make, and these are ways that you can avoid those mistakes. If you ever need more information, feel free to call me, text me, follow me on TikTok. All of my information can be found right here in the description below. You let me know what you need, and I got it.